Okay, what I'm about to show you is a 4-point draw. It's an activation exercise for the transverse abdominal muscles. Before I move into this, we just want to acknowledge over the last few years there's been a debate between the therapy world, the fitness industry and the sports world. Do we draw in? Do we leave it out? What we need to do is, as fitness professionals, to sit back and say we acknowledge all of these. What's important is they can activate and stabilize their trunk area. Hopefully with your client, once we get them from, say, a seated position in a machine, using dumbbells and finally moving around and performing everyday life, they don't have to think about drawing in. It's just a natural occurrence. Bear in mind that this whole argument is based around which is best to protect the trunk and that spinal area. We're going to look at drawing in today. It's a TVA activation. Okay, we've got Stuart into this position here. So if you notice, we've got 90 degrees to the hips, 90 degrees from the humerus to the arm. Now what we're going to do is to get nice neutral spine, neutral hips, neutral through the lumbar, the thoracic and also the cervical, so his ears are in line with his shoulders. We're going to look at drawing in. So first and foremost, let's look what it looks like when it's distended. So if you just blow this out for me, Stuart. Now this is really pushed out on Stuart, so if he was really exhaling, this is probably what it'd look like. We're going to start drawing in. Now make a note, as he's doing, he's breathing through this movement. It's going to go bit by bit, almost from this bottom part of his hip. So if you find this ASIS, we're pulling in from the lowest portion and up. So the belly button is going into the spine. What we can also incorporate into this is pulling the pelvic floor up. So if you're going to the toilet, you're going to stop yourself mid-flow. This completes that whole core stabilization, increasing that intra-abdominal pressure through there. How are you feeling? Looking very good. So we can see that's really drawn in. Now you'll see when people haven't fired it properly, some people may fire, say they have fired, but we see this exaggerated curvature through the lumbar. What you'll find is that's not the TVA, that's rectus abdominis. What that's doing is firing and it's wanting to flex that person forward. We may even see shifts through the thoracic, just where they're unable to keep that core position. We want to be neutral hips, neutral spine from the lumbar through the thoracic and the cervical. We draw in. From the ASIS, we draw in and up and we pull the pelvic floor in, completing that core stabilization, increasing the intra-abdominal pressure, and essentially, like I said, the stabilization. If we can get in this position while we're moving, in theory, we should be safer. Just relax there. That's our 4-point draw.